And we're back with more Incredible Hokes Summer of 2015 live from Venice Beach. Live from the man cave. I'm Chris.
I'm Mark, I think.
Well, you're at Venice Beach right now. It's the magic of movies. You can be anywhere.
Hey!
Hey, Venice Beach. Hey. All right, so today's topic will be about TV, not movies.
Right? We're mainly movies.
Every once in a while, we'll go off into football.
Football topic.
Sometimes a social issue, but very rarely.
Very rarely.
Today we're going to go to TV.
Yeah, before you know it, a couple months, the new seasons are going to start. So why not talk TV?
Well, let's do kind of like we did with the Hall of Fame for movies. Let's read our list off, but just say quickly what you think about each one. So this is your favorite. We're not saying. Are we saying it's just our own favorite, or is this like, hey man, this is the best of all time, and you're an idiot if you think? How are you approaching this? How are you approaching this?
Well,
you know how I approach lists. To me, lists are always about it's my favorite.
Right.
So how do you approach this? This is your like, hey, I'll argue against anybody. This is the best ever. Period.
Well,
what are you doing with this?
A lot of these, I would have to say, these are more favorites for me because some of the ones that are on this list don't have any like historical impact. Just I think they're just really good and entertaining. So I have to say it's more of a personal.
Your favorite
flavor today, yeah.
All right, so number 10.
Oh, you want me to go? All right.
Yeah.
Honorable mention: Barney Miller. Really good sitcom. Basically, kind of a one set. Actually, it was two sets, but it had all the action really took place in two small sets.
Oh yeah, his
really
office or the bullpen.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's called.
Yeah, or the jail room, the detective room. So between squad room and office, it was
right.
Just comedy magic happened.
Yeah.
And number 10, Restaurant Impossible. I threw in a reality show in here. I think as reality shows go, that's for me my favorite, hands down.
Don't even know what that is.
And Chef Irvine, yeah, he's great with his culinary skills, but his humanity and the way he uses psychology to get people to clean up their act and fix these restaurants is even more impressive. So check it out. And,
never seen it. Don't even know what it is.
It's on Food Network. Check it out.
Okay.
Number 9, Breaking Bad. Awesome show.
Yeah.
You watch this guy. It's in the drama of him making one bad choice after another, but you understand the motivations. So it is kind of like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Yeah.
Number 8. What did I say? Andy Griffith's show. For 5 seasons, the black and white years, that
With
show
Barney.
rocked. And of course, Don Knotts really carried the weight as far as most of the laughs. The last 3 years, we'll forget that. But for 5 seasons, it was awesome, and that show will stack up with anybody. Number 7, The Incredible Hulk. Again, personal favorites. That show to me really spoke to me. This guy being kind of their approach was Banner having the Hulk was kind of a curse, and his dealing with that. There was some episodes that were more farcical. So when people think of it, I think sometimes when it gets made of, they think of those episodes.
Well, the little TV
but not
movies
every
they made
show.
in subsequent years, they made and those didn't help.
Those didn't help, and their budgets were so low too.
Bad.
But if you saw all 5 seasons of the show, you'll know that most episodes were actually more serious drama and dealing with his turmoil and living with his decision.
Yeah.
That he brought the curse upon himself. So anyway, he has to live with that. Fascinating to me. Number 6, Twilight Zone. It's one of them, what they call that?
Anthology.
Anthology kind of show. Thank you. So every week it's a different kind of a story and a different thing to make you. Very thought-provoking stuff.
Rod Serling was a great writer.
Great writer, ahead of its time. Number 5, anyone that saw HBO's short-lived but brilliant Carnival will know what I'm talking about. This mix of the Dust Bowl, early 30s, Great Depression, with apocalyptic
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah, apocalyptic. Thank you. Apocalyptic elements mixed in, very supernatural elements mixed in with really heaven and hell on Earth battling it out, and all amongst this traveling carnival. It's very fascinating. Check it out. Wild Wild West, number 4. I love the Wild Wild West. That was a great show. It was kind of James Bond in the West, yes, but it brought in its own unique flavor. Also, it had the best 1-2 punch in all of television history. I really do believe it. I'll stand by that, of having Robert Conrad and Ross Martin as James West and Artemis Gordon, respectively. Those two characters were freaking magic together.
Well, I also
loved it.
Quick mention here: at every commercial break with the pictures, was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
The way they did their cliffhangers,
And shame on that movie. Just shame on that movie. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I spit on that movie. Anyway, where are we at? 3. Angel. I love Angel. It was a spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was a good show in its own right. But anyone that knows Buffy knows that the first 3 seasons were awesome, and then the next 4 were mixed bag. But Angel, for freaking 5 seasons, this guy was in such... Again, a lot like Incredible Hulk, where Banner had a curse. Yeah. Well, Angel has this curse he has to live with too, but he's trying to make amends. So that's what that drama's about, and I love that stuff. Number 2, MASH. Great sitcom. It isn't so much anti-war; it's about the humanity, trying to maintain your humanity on the front lines under ridiculous pressure. So, number 1.
It's not aged well. Oh, go ahead.
I love it. Anyway, Friends is number 1. That sitcom, a lot of these 20-somethings, is a very Gen X show, yes, but it just was brilliant. Pound for pound, the funniest show ever. The Ross and Rachel romance was awesome. Even the Chandler and Monica romance was awesome. Great characters. And, Chandlerisms, people say all the time. You can't watch SportsCenter without hearing at least once a Chandlerism. And if you've watched the show, you know what I mean. But anyway, it's one of the most successful syndicated shows around today, and there's a reason for it. It's a show that you can just revisit over and over and over, and I'll leave it at that. Yours?
I don't have 10. I'm horrible with these lists, by the way, and you know this, and I think I've said it on the show. I can't make lists to save my life because my mood changes. Even my favorite things, like my favorite band ever is U2. And you ask me what my favorite 5 songs, well, it'll change every 6 weeks. Just
sorry, I was drinking root beer off set.
Very good.
Sorry, folks.
So here's my list in no particular order, except for number 1. Number 1 is 1, but the others are not in order. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Tim and Eric. And when I say Tim and Eric, I mean bedtime stories. I mean Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. Anything in the Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule.
Yeah.
I'll even throw in Eric Andre, which it technically is different, but I'll even throw there in the mix. Anything Tim and Eric is my favorite. I have watched those repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. God, it absolutely strikes to the core of my funny bone. I think it's absolutely insanely funny, all the Tim and Eric stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor and Google it. There's all kinds of YouTube videos. You'll see what I mean. Family Guy, didn't like it at first. Didn't warm up to it. The first few seasons aren't very good. But when it hit its stride, it was definitely on point, and it's so ingrained now into my everyday vernacular.
Yeah, I have a Family Guy comment, but we'll come back later to that.
South Park. South Park is, I love the show. Every once in a while it gets a little tiring. Sometimes it's so offensive and trying to be offensive, they'll lose track. They kind of go out of their way of good storytelling just to be offensive sometimes. And it's like a little too dirty. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, but
they're over the top often.
They go over the top to the point where sometimes they lose you. They hammer a point too hard or something like that. But having said that, day in, day out, absolutely funny. always has a point of view. Cartman is one of my favorite TV characters of all time.
Yeah.
Hands down. Cartman's on my top 5 favorite TV characters.
Usually
ever.
brilliant satire is what it is.
Breaking Bad, you already talked about it, but totally reinvented television for me. Completely reinvented television for me. Walking Dead, I'd have to throw in there because even though it kind of lost me a little bit with the governor, it has came back with a vengeance. First 2 seasons were really good. The last season, which was 5, was absolutely outstanding.
6 is coming up.
3 and 4 got a little off track, but it recovered very well. Very well. I love that it's learning from its own mistakes. And that you deserve praise for that. It's like, yes, you made a mistake, but you learn from them. And it's amazing that they've done that. Recovered like no other show. And then my number 1 and 2, probably pretty confident on these rankings. Number 2 would be WKRP in Cincinnati. I loved that show when I was a kid. I still love it. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I love the characters. I love the chemistry of it. I love the subject of being the radio station. It's a horrible radio station. And the off-the-wall, left-field humor. I've always, I've talked, ever since I was a little kid, that was one of my favorite shows ever. I can't explain it. It's absolutely, it's way underappreciated. Maybe the most underappreciated TV show ever, in my opinion.
Well, and then the thing is, when the ratings started to go down, Frank Bonner, who plays Herb Tarlick, the show focused a lot on him, and some people complained about that. I thought that actually gave the show more depth.
Actually, it's not even true. Everything I've ever read, they actually, when they were canceled, they were still in the top 10. They were one of those freak shows that got canceled, and it was still in its height.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes, and that was one of those as a victim of that. Oh, it was way underappreciated. Way underappreciated, undervalued show. And my number 1 show of all time, hands down, nothing else is close. Day in, day out. The Andy Griffith Show. The black and white ones with Barney. Barney, Don Knotts, hands down the greatest television character of all time. Period. The close one is like 5 miles away. Whoever's number 2, it's like Barney is number 1 on at the Sun, and number 2 is around like Neptune. Way out there. That's that's how far and above to me he's my favorite TV character. Period. He's never been duplicated. He can't be duplicated. Nobody's ever come close to recapturing that. Fantastic. It's absolutely captured in my imagination. Kind of like Star Wars is. It's a lot the same way. With my youth, that was the show, and it grabbed me, and it imprinted on me, and so for my lifetime, Andy Griffith Show is the greatest show of all time. Same way Star Wars is. It genetically imprinted on me.
That was a great show. It was on my top 10, so...
Couldn't wait to come on as a little kid. The black and white adds a level of timelessness to it. Went to color, it went to crap. Just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful freaking show. Amazing show. Funny, hilarious, everything.
Yeah, you're not going to get a whole lot of argument, man.
It was in your top 10,
it's top 10, and I love it. And Don Knotts, what he did with Barney Five is one of the great characters ever. My favorite, of course, is Alan Alda doing Hawkeye. I think that's the greatest, for me, the greatest TV character of all time.
I don't really have anything to bash on yours. I'm surprised Buffy didn't make the list. Do you have anything to criticize or bash or augment on mine? I'm a little surprised Buffy was on your list.
I have a
South Park or Family Guy. Yeah, Family Guy comment.
I have a Family Guy comment.
Go for it.
There's some shows that when they're on and like maybe you saw maybe 1 or 2 episodes early and they didn't really get into it, but then like years later, there's like something about it, an element that is like is what kind of hooks you. Like maybe you didn't get earlier, and they're like, oh, I get it now. Well, for me, Family Guy, I always remember this. The early seasons,
they were very good.
I didn't really get what they were trying to do. When I'd actually heard that the show had been like renewed and people were starting to get into it, so I watched one. When I figured out that you're supposed to understand that Lois is supposed to be really hot, and like in the in their universe, Lois is supposed to be really hot. Once I got that, jokes started making sense.
But that's what made it click.
I know it was, but I'm just saying. Sometimes it's weird. With the oddest things that will sometimes bring you in, because some of the jokes I just didn't get. Like I'm like, why? I don't understand why Quagmire and all that. I get that he's a horn dog and all that, but I'm like, some of the other jokes too is like I'm not understanding. You know, and then once I understood, it's like, oh, it's like King of Queens. Kevin James, and he's, married to the prettier Leah Remini. I get it, okay, and that was how I got into Family Guy.
That is so weird.
But I mean, the show is is much more than that. Obviously, but that's not what I'm talking about.
That was the hook.
It's the weird hooks.
Yeah, that's what hooked you.
But that's what hooked me.
That was the point they clicked. Like,
oh, I get it. Yeah.
That is so weird.
It is a weird hook. That's why I brought it up. Because you would think it'd be something else, but that was the thing for me that I was like, oh, I get this show now.
That is so weird. I don't even know how to respond to that because it's so damn weird.
Well, that's why I brought it up. That'd be an interesting.
Because I get what you're saying.
True story.
I know, well, because my first reaction was to attack that and that's not what the show's about. But you admitted that's not what the show's about.
Yeah.
You're saying that's what made it click.
But that's what made it click for me.
I can't even address that. That's weird. That is so weird. Well, I think that for me...
I can address your Buffy question if you want me to tackle that, which is a good segue.
Yeah.
There are certain shows that are that were outstanding, overall, and they had moments of greatness.
Yeah.
But then would trail off maybe.
Right.
Or maybe their greatness was short-lived, and I can give examples.
Right.
Look at that show ER. There's probably people out there screaming, no one said ER. Well, I'm saying ER for 8.5 seasons kicked all kinds of ass. But then it kind of jumped the shark, and they didn't know how to write Carter off. And then Romano, they kill him. They let him lose his arm to a helicopter. Then a year later, they let the helicopter then fall on him. It's like, what are you doing? This is supposed to be a serious drama. It was so over the top, stupid. So that was kind of the jump the shark moment for that series. But anyway, for 8.5 seasons, it rocked.
I never watched.
And Buffy was the same way. For 3 seasons, the way the story they were trying to tell works when she's in high school. When she then go to college, and then she drops out of college, it was just the show didn't work as well. And that's why it's not in my top 10.
Well, see, I'm kind of at a disadvantage on the whole TV show thing. Full disclosure here, for 10 years-ish of my life, I worked nights. And back before DVRs. And back when using a VCR to record for a show was a giant pain in the ass. So there's about a 10-year gap where I really didn't watch TV. If you go honestly, when I was about 17, I got a night job, an evening job. So I really didn't watch TV in the evening probably for damn near 20 years. When you add it all up together. I still don't really watch much TV. I don't watch any of the major network shows. I never, ever, ever watch channel ABC on Monday. I couldn't even tell you what shows they're on. I just don't watch TV. So, full disclosure here, I don't watch TV much. I watch football, and Breaking Bad, I only watched because they were playing marathons, and Trish said it was really good, so I started watching the marathon. So then I backtracked, and I started from 1 and caught up to where the marathon was, or the new season was about to start. So binge watching caught me up. So I can do TV shows now because of Netflix and binge watching and things like that in the internet. But for at least 20 years of my life, I really was totally out of touch. So I'm kind of Friends. I might have seen maybe 2 episodes in my life. I'll put it this way: Seinfeld is still new to me. I will watch Seinfeld when it comes to reruns, and I'll have not seen episodes.
Yeah.
Everybody else has seen them 100 times. They're still new to me.
And that was a great show, by the way, too. I know there's people out there they didn't say Seinfeld. Some of the kind of the usual suspects that you'll see on these great lists.
Yeah.
It isn't that I don't like them. I like Cheers. I like Seinfeld. The Simpsons. I didn't know neither of us mentioned. I like The Simpsons.
See, here's my thing with TV. I like TV that's otherworldly. In other words, I don't like watching police procedural dramas or lawyer procedural dramas or medical procedural dramas. The ERs and the CSIs. It's all lost on me. It's all really boring to me.
Yeah.
I tune out on that. I like typically sitcoms. And I like sitcoms that are a little like offbeat, so it's like a little otherworldly. Like we have like 2 cartoons in there, and Tim and Eric is so otherworldly. Breaking Bad and Walking Dead are very cinematic, and they play like really long movies in a way. It's like it's an overall arcing storyline,
and they're very mature stories too. Because,
and Andy Rivis show is black and white, and it took place in this fictional utopian town, and WKRP had these really zany off the wall characters. So I like TV that's not ordinary life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and easily digestible. Like you know, except for Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, easily digestible.
Right.
And you can take it in small bite size. That's the TV I like. I can't stand watching the 1-hour dramas. Typically, there's very few 1-hour dramas I can endure.
I just television the way our culture is nowadays, it's kind of ended the whole what I would call the appointment television. The idea of people, it's Thursday. We watch 4 programs and we sit down and we watch them all. People they DVR things. They come back later. It's just. Or people will binge watch whole seasons of stuff. So I'm no different. I don't. I watch more movies because either renting or whatever. I'll watch movies more than I actually watch TV.
Is there any other?
But I do think I watch more TV than you.
Is there any other show on net where you just burp when it comes upon you to burp?
And I'm unfazed and I keep talking. Yeah, there's no other.
But that's what makes this show unique for the web. The new home of modern television and the internet. And with that,
are we done, or do you want to do like one more honorable mention before we get out of here?
Honorable mention of shows? I don't even know if I can think of one. Crap.
I will say, Justified just went off in the spring. And other than its kind of weak 5th season, that was a solid show. So
Futurama,
check it out.
Futurama until it started wanting to get Fry and Leela together. The episodes where they're trying to get Fry in a relationship with Leela sucked so bad, and they try and get all like sentimental, or just absolutely crap. But when Futurama is being all about Bender and being off the wall and satirical and everything else, Futurama would be my honorable mention. It jumped the shark when it kept trying to insist on Fry and Leela being an item.
Well, it was
totally forced.
It was kind of the Seinfeld of animated, and that was kind of like a show about nothing. And it wasn't supposed to be sentimental.
Well, your main characters were lazy and
these were not honorable people.
No, they're not the best of society.
Yeah, you got a slacker as your main character.
So yeah, I love that show, and then until it jumped the shark.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So your favorite show obviously is Incredible Hokes. So thank you.